There are shows in this world that we will never fully understand, except Ghost Adventures. We have watched every episode to build our obsession, our fandom.
Watching alongside each other because no one we know really gives a damn. Watching Zach and crew catch groundbreaking proof of the paranormal, inspiring us to explore our own interest in otherworldly phenomena. This is our podcast. We are Paranormal Putas.
What are we doing?
What is it again?
Oh shit, I don't know what's happening right now.
I don't know. I was trying a cool thing. I forgot what it was. That thing in Deathgasm that they do where they're like Brotherhoods of Steel and they go like, they're like holding each other's hands, but it's like that. Brotherhood of Steel. Sisterhood of Steel.
Oh, me and Bethany just tried to pull off a handshake and it did not work out. What's up, everybody? It's me, Leah.
And it's me, Bethany.
And we're the Paranormal Putas. Ow, ow, ow. Hey, ho.
Do you ever notice that in movies, though? Like, because in movies they have to establish a long-standing relationship. People are like, let's do our secret handshake. And it's like this 20-step process. And they're like turning and spinning and slapping. And like there's a leg ankle touch. And you're just like, nobody fucking does that, man. Nobody fucking, hey, I haven't seen you in 20 years. Ankle touching and spinning. And it's been so great. Nobody does that. Sorry, I just went off the rails there. Anyways.
No, but it's excellent. But I'll be honest, I've always wanted a secret handshake. And like anytime I've brought it up like jokingly, like people are always like, that's funny. But I'm like, no, like seriously.
Because people don't do it. Like, but I'll do it. We can do it.
Do one?
But
okay.
Also, I was just trying to steal the Deathgasm, you know.
We need like a puta, like slap, like a
puta slap. Slap a puta. No.
Oh God.
We're not misogynists.
No, please no. But also, hey, we're back with the Ghost Adventures episode.
Yeah. That's right. We're here to review Ghost Adventures Season 5, Episode 4, titled The Yorktown Hospital. Which is not, British or anything. It's actually here in Texas. It's like Yorktown.
It's York.
It's the Yorktown Hospital.
York.
And it was, this episode aired on March 18th of 2011.
Oh man, yeah, what a good time. Yorktown Hospital, like Bethany said, it's right here in Texas. I'm sure that she'll break down more of the history because all I really know about it is that it's located like 60, 70 miles outside of San Antonio, Texas. And I really only know that much because the Curious Twins do regular tours at Yorktown Hospital. So
we should do one.
Maybe this is the start of something. But the guys go check it out because it is the first, and I think maybe still, I don't know if it's like the only hospital in York. Like, I don't know if Yorktown has a hospital today.
I actually don't know either, and I didn't do a lot of research, TBH. So I don't know. I still don't know. But what I do know is that it was built in 1951 and it was run by the Felician sisters.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Nuns,
I said that right. Yeah. They were nuns. Yeah. They were they were part of the Roman Catholic Church, and
that's
scary. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It is. Like, fuck,
it closed as a hospital in 1986 when it became a drug rehab facility until its total decommission. What is this word? I don't know.
We're learning.
I don't know. Anyways, it became a drug rehab facility, I guess, in the 90s. I don't know. Anyways, so let's see. These nuns, the Felician sisters, kind of helped build this hospital. They got a bunch of grants and like donations and people to give money to build this hospital because there was no other hospital here at this time. The closest one was in San Antonio, which now is like 2 hours away. Goodness knows how long, I don't know how fast they were in the 50s.
How quick them wagons roll.
I don't fucking know. But I'm just saying it's a good long way, and they needed a hospital, so these nuns came and built one.
Yeah, man, I guess that's really nice of them, but nuns creep me out. Like, I don't know. I think it's the visual going back to The Exorcist, that scene where the nuns are walking on the sidewalk, like that always scared me. So ever since like that, and it's like nuns floating
and they're
by.
floating, man.
Yeah, man.
There's
like,
something about it.
Something about it. Nuns scare me. Anyways, that's a different conversation. So that's where the guys are. They go there because it's a hospital. And Zach even kind of says it in the beginning of the episode, like, we love going to hospitals because it's where like life and death come together. And, you know, he's talking just all the emotions that you feel while in hospitals. And so the guys are really excited about it. And they even kind of joke like they're in the middle of nowhere, Texas. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of it for the history. I think it's a hospital, became a rehab, and people died there. I think there was also, a couple of standouts that the guys mention is the homicide. The double murder. The double murder, thank you. That took place in the basement of the location. So the story goes, a little sassy gal was having a little affair, and she was down the stairs in the basement with her Sancho, and her dude came, found him, and killed her. And then as he went for the guy she was messing around with, he managed to get the knife. Sancho got the knife and stabbed dude. Yep. So now this couple is dead in the basement. And I forget what happens to Sancho.
I don't remember.
I don't know if he...
Because I was just so distracted because of the blood on the wall.
Yes.
Yeah,
the blood on the wall that looked like someone like finger painted it onto the wall, like splash, splash. Like,
I was like, there's no fucking way that this blood is still on the wall. And one, they totally should have tried to get it off, or would have tried to get it off of there. Two, it should be like way more faded than what it is at that point. And three, had just looked like someone just fingerprinted that. And I was just so not convinced by that. Also, considering the character who took the guys around, Mike, he was definitely, I just feel like he was unreliable. He was an unreliable
I love
narrator.
Mike. So let's talk about it. So the guys pull up to Yorktown, and already it's a fucking just show. It's a show. The guys get there and they're walking around looking for Mike, who's the owner of the property at the time. And the guys are walking around and they don't find Mike. They find a donkey, and a donkey comes running after Zach, and the guys are like, oh my god. So there's like a good 2 to 3 minutes with this donkey, and then we find Mike in a trailer. Zach gives it a little knock, and then here comes Mike, and the only thing that was missing was the smoke from his bong. Because he comes out of there and he's like, hey guys. He's like, whoa, what's up? I'm Mike. Like, total stoner dude. He just has that vibe, and it's just so funny to me. So they talk to Mike, and yeah, he says that he believes in spirits, and he tells these stories of the murder, and then also a man who was apparently left when the hospital became the rehab center. He said that they had a bell that you could ring for emergencies, and that one of the nuns would stay up all night waiting for the buzzer to go off. And apparently one morning they found a man at that door who had unfortunately died of a heroin overdose. So nobody ever rang the bell. They just kind of left that man there to die or be found. So Zach is like, well, do you think if someone rang that bell, that man would be alive? And Mike is like, possibly his life could have been saved, but because they just left his body there, he died, and now they claim that he haunts because he never found peace. So I thought that was a cool little story. Well, not cool, but
yeah, it's
one
just
of
a
the
little
deaths.
a piece of history.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Who else do they talk to pre-investigation? We hear from Dr. Barth, who is a unique individual. He was born in Yorktown and also worked in Yorktown Hospital. And really, he says he's not really a big believer of the paranormal, but he does share a story with the guys about how he was asleep in the doctor's lounge, and at some point he kind of wakes up and he sees a figure of a doctor who had apparently died at his home earlier. I don't know if he said like that day, that week, but he knew that doctor had passed, but he saw the figure of that doctor standing there. So he does claim to have an experience, even though he says he's not really a big believer in the paranormal. And what else happens pre-investigation?
They talk to Bristol.
They talked to Bristol, who Dr. Barth actually said, hey, go across the street and talk to Bristol because she's had experiences in the hospital as well. And Bristol is where we learn a little bit more about the nuns. But I think, nuns they have their stereotypes, and she really doesn't say anything that you wouldn't assume or I guess like associate with a nun. Like very strict. They don't like, anyone who's
tattooed.
yes, anyone who's tattooed. And that leads Zach to really the highlight of this episode. I think I could talk about it for days is how he's going to provoke the nuns. And of course, him just being him isn't enough. He's like, well, I got a big old tattoo on my back. And the only way they're going to see that is if I take my shirt off. And the crowd went wild. And I love it because the thumbnail for this video, even like on the Discovery app, is Zach topless because that is what this episode is all about.
It's why people watch. It's why people tune in.
It's why this episode is so pivotal. And even Bethany was like, no, he's taking his shirt off before. I said, correction, baby sister. He has lifted his shirt. We have seen parts of his back and his chest because he's like, oh, I got scratched. But he's never been like, I'm taking my shirt off specifically for this investigation. It's very hot. It's very exciting. I can't contain myself. But we'll get there. And I think really he does another little interview with Susan and Cassidy, who are a mother and daughter who spent time in Yorktown and claims to have seen apparitions as well. Cassidy wearing her Hard Rock Cafe shirt.
They blurred it out. I guess Hard Rock was real. I get hard about those fucking images. But they're like not even around anymore. And they're being all crazy about showing that shit. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny that they blurred it out. But it was very apparent she was wearing a Hard Rock Cafe t-shirt. So go Cassidy.
Go Cassidy.
Living that life. Living that Hard Rock life.
That was good. Hard Rock Live. And I think other than that, the guys go out to an oil rig because there's a few in the area, and they want to just kind of capture footage because there are claims at the hospital that they had a lot of oil rig workers who would be treated there for various reasons. A couple had died there. So Zach's whole thing was like, well, I want to get close to this oil rig to see how someone could possibly die in this situation. So they get approached by a man who's like, hey, y'all can't be out here recording, which I think is great because it's a great transition. He's like, hey, y'all got to get out of here. Zach's like, put the cameras down, guys. But of course they don't. They're still kind of recording from down low. So you're like, ooh, they shouldn't be doing this. And, but eventually it becomes a full blown interview. And the guy then shares stories about how Dr. Barth actually stitched him up one time, and Zach is like, oh my God, we just interviewed Dr. Barth. And Zach then makes it this whole, what a crazy circle of life, like you didn't want us out here, but we've talked about the hospital and now we have this connection. And Zach makes it something bigger than what it is. And that interviewee actually goes on to say that his uncle passed away at that hospital. And he believes that his uncle haunts the hospital to this day. So it was really cool. But that was really it pre-investigation. They get some good conversations for sure. Some little bits here and there. And that's it.
Yeah, the guy that they talked to, his name is Rosendo, and he said his uncle got stabbed. His uncle's name is Rivaldo. Yes. And I just thought that was fucking. He was like, "Yeah, he got stabbed. He's in there. He's in there. Man. He has not found peace." So that was a fun little interview. But I have like two more tiny, real dumb things that I just thought were really fucking funny. On their way to the oil rig, they run into like a school bus. Like there's some kids on a school bus, and this girl sticks her head out. She's gotta be like middle school, maybe high school, like early high school. 8th, 9th, yeah, in that time frame. And she's like, I see you on TV. You're hot. Yes. To Zach. And Zach's like, oh, this is weird. And of course the guys tease him about it, and it's just this really fucking funny moment. And as the bus is like driving off, he's like, do your homework.
It's so good. I loved that. Like, I would never have the balls to yell out to Zach, like, you're hot. And she was all about it.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, that was really funny.
I love that moment. It's so wholesome, so funny, and so awkward. And it was perfect. It was great entertainment.
It was.
And then in this episode, there were a lot of like, okay, in this whole series, in this show, they do like these cutscene type things where they show you like images of like a knife hitting something, or like a ghost screaming with a light bulb in its mouth, or like really weird shit, because they're trying to put you in that mode, like the horror movie mode, you know. And in this one, they had a nun, like, first off, one of them was like floating in a bed, which was so silly because it was so CGI. But anyways, my personal favorite was when the nun looks in the mirror and her mouth it just opens to a perfect circle. And she's like, and I was like, what the fuck is up with this nun mouth? Anyways, I felt like they had a lot of that in this episode.
There was
like
the
way
doll
more
heads.
than the doll heads, a fucking like meat cleaver hitting a fucking like counter. Like, it was just like a lot of stuff, you know, like, and I get it. A lot of the times they do that to like connect the story to an image to kind of help people who don't have good brains. I guess, I don't know, put you in the mood, help you imagine shit.
Just in case you struggle imagining things.
They're like, this guy fell off of a wheelchair down the stairs, and the next scene is like a empty wheelchair being thrown down the stairs. I mean, I love those stupid little things, but there were a lot of them in this one. So, shout out
to the editing of this episode. Top notch.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. Pre-investigation.
Yeah, that's it. Let's move it on along.
Honorable haunts and
Skimpy scares.
It's my favorite time. Let's do it, shall we?
Yeah.
So one of the first things, of course, I'll say it every time when they intro their equipment. Usually I just like to break down what they're going to use. They did it in this episode, and I just kind of made note that they used a digital recording apparatus. It just sounded fucking cool, and it's just exactly what it sounds like.
Like an
apparatus of digital recording. So it was just really cool. So I'll shout out the equipment. But let's jump into those skimpies. Get those babies out the way, because we got some meat. Some meat to get into.
I actually don't have a lot. I think I only really have one skimpy.
All right, then let me start it then. So Aaron gets hit with the goosey's pimples, and he's like, whoa, bro, I feel a chill. So that, of course, is always going to be skimpy to the viewer. It's not exciting. We can't see anything. We can't hear anything. Whatever. The next one is an EVP that I think we started writing out as maybe an honorable. Mm-hmm. And then I asked Bethany, I was like, do you hear what he says they hear? And she was like, no. So I was like, well, then it's a skimpy. And it's an EVP apparently of don't go in the bathroom, or the bathroom. And I was like, all right, that's weird. But you don't hear that at all. You hear.
Well, I personally heard, I don't know. To me, it sounded something like Grishnak.
Grishnak.
Yeah. What?
Oh, no, nothing. I'm like, what if you just said something that you shouldn't have said?
Oh, no, man. Grishnak, what is it?
Is it something real?
Grishnak is J.R.R. Tolkien's, like, alternate name or some shit. But fucking Varg from Burzum took it, and he became Count Grishnak. And when I heard that, I was like, fucking Count Grishnak.
That went right over your girl over here. I'm like, you speaking a different language. I'm like, don't read the Latin. Like,
I'm sorry. My not only book nerd but music nerd came out, and I'm sorry. It did not sound like going to the bathroom. It sounded like fucking Count Grishnak. And so that's what I wrote. Okay.
No, that's fine. And I know that there's people out there that understand everything that she just said. But all I heard was jibba jibba jabba jibba jabba jibba jibba jabba. So what else? Oh, do your skimpy, because my next one is more of a split.
Well, I think that is the
is
next
that the same one?
Yeah. Is it the apparition?
Yeah.
So that was my only skimpy, and we talked about it too when we was tapping the notes.
Yeah.
Zach gets an image of an apparition, right? But you can't see that shit. Like, I could not see it at all. And he had to, like, doodle the outline of it, you know? And he was like, you can see the leg. Sometimes ghosts don't appear in full perfect form. So use your fucking imagination, idiot. And I'm here like, I don't see it. So for me, that was skimpy. But Leah was like, oh, maybe it's kind of in the middle because it is an image of a fucking ghost.
Yeah, it's there, and I kind of, I just wish it was a little clearer and a little more defined, but I get it. He does the little red outline, like you can see the leg and the foot, and the foot, the leg and the foot, and, like he draws it for us, and then it's like, oh, okay, but if he didn't draw it, then I wouldn't have seen it, so skimpy honorable.
Yeah. If he hadn't doodled it.
Right. It wouldn't have been there.
No.
So that's the last one. And it transitions to our honorables. Let's see here. The first one is some night vision footage. They just have their X-cam set up in the basement. And this is where the murder took place of the cheating woman. And they capture a woman's moan on the night vision camera down in the basement. So it's loud, it's crystal clear, it definitely has tone, and it even kind of incline. It's crazy. It's a moan for sure. So you hear it. Honorable as fuck. That was wild, and one I really enjoyed.
Yeah. I think this happened in the basement too, right? So they're asking, Zach is asking questions like, tell me what your name is, and shit like that. And their electromagnetic energy reader bullshit.
The EMF.
Yeah. It detects the energies. So it's just cool that their devices are going off, and then they get an EVP that says, wanna play? And I'm like, I know Leah does. You gotta ask her twice.
Whatever. The next honorable I have are a couple more EVPs down in the basement, and this one is really cool because this is Aaron down in the basement, and he's freaking out. He's already picked up on a couple EVPs, and then this next one here is two different EVPs where it says, "It must be told." And then we get, "I'll tell them you did it." Mm-hmm. And that's really cool. Like someone's talking to another spirit, or like it's acknowledging that something else is there, right? And with that type of speech, I don't know. It's just really cool. Aaron hears it on the EVP. It's crystal clear. It's scary as fuck. Honorable as shit.
Yeah, that was my next one too. Yeah, it's just so cool because considering that there was a murder there, but probably lots of other shady shit we don't know about. And one of the ghosts is just like, yo, we gonna tell people about this, like it's just so interesting that they're not at peace. They can't rest because this story must be told. So that was pretty cool.
That is really cool. And it leads, like, Aaron has a really epic time in that basement. He gets some really great EVPs. And I feel, and I am kind of going out of order.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, let's do it.
Because we got to.
Yeah.
So Aaron's down in the basement and he's getting these EVPs. He gets another one that says, hurry and hide. Mm-hmm. And that's fucking crazy because like he keeps kind of flowing and getting these responses. So now we hear, I'm going to tell him you did it. And now we get hurry up and hide. Mm-hmm. But wait, it's like, but wait, there's more.
Yeah, it gets better. It gets juicier.
It gets juicier. You want the next one? It's so good.
Sure, because it goes like right hand in hand with this.
Perfect.
So Aaron also gets EVPs that says, the killer is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the hallway.
Yeah.
So it's so crazy. These ghosts are telling him like, boy, you best hide because that killer's coming, and they're telling him like, go to the hallway.
Yeah.
I guess that's where, the killer won't find you.
Yeah. And I really like that because it's like this man died in a state of rage, so that's his energy, right? Like he's probably still very pissed off. And so these other spirits know that, and they're telling Aaron, hurry up, hide, get in the hallway. The killer's coming. Like he's going to fucking hurt you because that's what he died doing, right? I just think that that's so fucking cool, so intelligent, amazing fucking evidence.
Yeah, that was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
While Aaron's down there, he also gets a bunch of other outside of the EVPs, he gets like the PX device or like spirit box type situation going on. He gets a lot of hits on that one. So he gets words like listen, think, Jesus. And one of my favorites is he hears unexplained noises, so that's really fucking cool because he's like, what's happening? Looking around, there's unexplained noises. And then Aaron says, what would you like to tell me? And the little box goes, metal.
That was really good.
Metal.
You sounded just like a spirit box.
Yes. Jesus. Think. Loud.
Johnny 5 alive.
But yeah, so he gets a lot of cool shit in there.
Oh no, for sure. Let's see here. Gets in there. Oh, there's one. So Zach's hanging out in the nuns' quarters, and he gets a couple things. So this is after the EVP that we mentioned earlier that says don't go in the bathroom. Zach goes in there, and it's part of the nuns' quarters, and he's kind of hanging out, trying to capture evidence. Nick and Aaron leave him alone in there with a camera, and you see a light anomaly enter Zach, like kind of in the neck area, and it's just really cool. It's like a little squiggle that floats, and they do their whole, we know this isn't dust or a bug because it changes shape and disappears. They break it down so that it's something paranormal. So that was really cool. And to kind of support it, he gets an EVP. I wouldn't say that it's a grade A EVP. The word is okay. But so is the EVP. The EVP is just okay. But because it goes hand in hand with that light anomaly, it supports it to be a little more honorable. So Zach has that moment in the nuns' quarters.
Yeah. And since we're going out of order and saving the best for last, one of the last honorables that happens for me in the episode is Nick and Zach are fucking around with the thermal cam and just kind of roaming around while Aaron is down in the basement by himself as per usual. And Nick's camera gets drained, and they get an EVP that says, get in there. And and then drains the juice from Nick's cam. So, and then Zach's like, is the spirit using Nick's camera's energy? You know what I mean? And then all they have is like his little personal cam, Zach's personal cam for the rest of like their little portion. So, but it was cool.
It was really cool. Yes. And like Bethany said, we're going out of order to save the best for last. Do we have any more before?
No, right. This is it. This is the big guns. We're dropping the gun show.
The gun show, baby. Are you ready for the zaddy with no shirt on? Cause I am. I've been waiting for this episode for 5 seasons.
Seriously though, she was so excited when it came up on the little cue.
When are we getting there? And we are here. And I'm pumped. So I have it noted as the most honorable haunt. Zaddy goes topless. This guy will do anything to build his credibility, to prove that spirits exist, that he's willing to sacrifice his own body to the cause. And I am here for it. So Zach, like we said, he mentions earlier when talking to Bristol, like, well, I got a tattoo. I'm going to have to strip down tonight. And he keeps doing this at multiple times throughout the episode. So he's building up to this fucking like magic zaddy moment where he's like, I'm going to have to strip down. So they're in they're in Yorktown and they're walking around and he's like, where do people with tattoos get scratched? And Nick's like, it's in the cathedral. He's like, let's go. So he walks that way. He's like, all right, let's do this. And he unzips his hoodie. I'm going to walk y'all through this. It's amazing. He unzips his hoodie and the guys are kind of clowning him for his hoodie. We'll get to that later. And he's taking it off and he's like, all right, nuns, I got tattoos. Let's check it out. And then he takes off his shirt and it's...
And the choir sings.
It is so damn good.
When he takes off his shirt, he says something to the effect of like, that he has a tattoo that they're not gonna like because it's a demon. So yeah, that's good. It was good.
It's so good. So he's standing there with his shirt off. All right. He's got the guns happening and he's like, look at me, So he's provoking these nuns, not only with his hot bod, but the tattoos, He's like, what do you see? What do you like? What do you want? Touch me, scratch me. It's just amazing.
I think those were Freudian slips.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Touch me. What do you want?
Touch my body. Yeah, no, he doesn't say that once.
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry, I'm dizzy. I'm sweaty. I can't control myself. But to be fair, aside from the magicness that is Zaddy topless, he actually gets some really good evidence taking that step to provoke the nuns. So I love it because everybody talks shit, or not everybody, so many people talk shit about Zach and his approach, and I'm sure he's done fucked up shit I don't know about. Whatever, I don't care. Here's the deal. He does some crazy ass shit to get a response from spirits, and that's what's up. So he's standing there topless, and he gets EVPs like, it's sick. It's sick. It's sick. And I'm like, yeah, that body's sick.
Sick bod, bro. Sick tattoos, my dude.
But of course, Zach's like, is that a nun telling me that my tattoos are sick?
So sick.
So sick. Zach, that body is so sick.
That's good.
He gets some other ones too, like it's loud or loud. And he was like, are you saying I'm loud?
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, you are.
Yeah.
You're very loud. And I'm all right with that. And
soul.
yes.
But my personal favorite, suffer.
Are you saying I'm gonna suffer because my body's so hot and I'm covered in tattoos?
Because it's so sick.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. But you guys, oh my God, that just sent me for a loop, and that is the most honorable haunt of this episode. Like
Of probably all 5 seasons.
of all 5 seasons. Yeah, like this.
That should have like a trophy. We should have a plaque for that moment. We need to make plaques now.
There's so much to do, but thank y'all for letting me sweat that one out because it means a lot to me.
I mean, shit, it made me dizzy, and I'm just sitting next door.
Oh man, but you know what time it is. Let's do. Zach's fashion for us. I love it.
Love it.
I love it. I love it.
Still the best.
So Zaddy keeps it pretty classic this episode. He's in all black, head to toe, typical independent belt buckle, nothing crazy. So not a lot, but like I mentioned, the guys kind of go in on Zach about his hoodie. And why, you might ask? Bethany actually pointed out, like really quickly, she goes, is he wearing a gingham or what is that? What is that, velvet?
It's fucking plaid.
It's plaid. It was just plaid. But Zaddy's wearing a black and gray plaid hoodie, which is not like him, to where he wears crazy shit, but never like a basic pattern like plaid or stripe or something like that. And it was just very simple. And as he's like kind of stripping down, even Aaron's like, I don't think I've ever seen Zach in plaid before. And they're all like, and Zach's like, shut up.
And it's not like your traditional plaid. It's like chunky 2011 plaid.
Yeah,
Like,
let's be real about it. And like,
Hot Topic plaid.
yeah, because like the ends of each little box like are kind of razored and like they fit together, so it's like puzzle plaid, black and gray. Like it's weird. It does a weird thing. So it's still very Zach, but kind of basic at the same. It's basic Zach.
His pants are too loose for me in this episode. We keep going back and forth between them coming in and like feeling more tailored, and then like coming out to the parachute Jenko business. And this episode was like parachute Jenko business.
That's a valid point. That's fair. And the only other thing I had that I made note of is this might be one of the first times that I really remember Zach putting on a respirator mask, because they're hanging out in like the basement of this old building. He doesn't say it's because he needs it or it's because of his health, which eventually becomes the case. But this is the first time I see him like proactively put on a respirator mask to protect his air quality. And I'm like, that's cool. Take care of yourself. That body needs nourishing, and I need you to be healthy because that's just what I need. But that's all that I had for the fashions. Like really nothing else, nothing crazy.
Yeah, there was really nothing too much going on.
Yeah, so we can just keep moving right along.
Zooming along. Zany Zaddy says,
What? Holy shit.
Nice. Love it. Let's jump in because we got a couple things. Yeah. Like I gotta fake crack my neck because I don't crack anything because it scares me. Like I'm gonna kill myself if I crack my neck. So let's jump in to these zany zaddies and what he says. I kind of mentioned it. He mentions this early on in the episode. The guys are driving towards the hospital and he just hits us with,
We're in the middle of nowhere, Texas. Like literally. The middle of nowhere.
like, thanks a lot, Zach. God, I felt like personally offended.
what are you saying? There's lots of land in Texas. What are you saying?
Middle of nowhere.
But my personal favorite, or one of the many personal favorites, when he's talking about Yorktown, he says, talking about all the deaths and shit, he's like, this is where tragedy and trauma collide. Like, damn, bro. Like, that's brutal.
That's good.
It's brutal.
I like this one because it's just funny.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Especially in the context of like slang words today. It's so great. So,
we came here because of the D word.
Can you guess what that D word is?
Can you guess what the D word is? You pervs, he meant demons. Get your mind out of the gutter.
So dumb. Ooh, I love this one. So he's roaming around the property and again, just I guess making a note about its facade and being in Texas. He was like,
I feel like I'm gonna get shot at any minute.
like, bro, ain't nobody even out there.
Like, I love it.
Like, what the fuck compels you to say that?
He even like picks up his hands. He's like, I feel like I'm gonna get shot. I'm like, why are you making it easier then?
Yeah, I know,
dumbass?
right? Running a zigzag.
Dummy. But this is great. We mentioned earlier, like as soon as the guys get to Yorktown, there's a donkey that kind of charges at Zach and Nick, and they record it. But there's a moment where Zach's standing next to the donkey, and he's like, "There's a donkey here, a donkey," and he gestures, like kind of lunges towards the donkey, and the donkey like motherfucker back up, and Zach hits us with,
Don't ever lunge at a donkey's ass.
wise words from Zaddy Bacon.
Yeah, that should be on a shirt. Don't ever lunge a donkey's ass. My God, this guy.
That should be a shirt with his face. Oh my God.
Oh my
please.
God, that's good.
Someone
make that.
Someone anywhere.
And send it to us as presents. As your offering to us of your love and servitude. Love me.
He's so dumb. I love it. Oh, you gotta do this one. This one's so funny.
This one's good. Okay. So when Zach is out there at the oil rig talking to old dude, he was talking about meeting like one of the guards. You know how the guards are like roughnecks and to stay away from them at the oil rig site. And Zach says he's talking about like him and the roughneck guard getting into a fight. So he said, roughneck in one corner, demon hunter in the other. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, shots fired. And that was pretty fucking funny.
That was really funny. He's so dumb. And he does like a little
Yeah. Demon hunter in the other.
lifts his shoulders like he's fake boxing. Like, sit down. The next one here is actually Aaron. And he's trying to get the spirits to reply to him. He's like, he's just in the moment, but it's just so, it's whatever. It's this. It's this. You have our 150.2%. Oh, okay. You got our 150.2% attention. And then it just kind of falls silent. And Zach looks over at him like, what? What the fuck did you just say? And even Aaron's like, I don't know.
I'm just here.
I'm trying. But I think, too, it's really funny because Aaron makes a comment early on, and it just kind of came to me right now where he's like, I'm getting more involved in the investigations and I like it. And I think this is him like trying to be more investigator versus audio tech.
Yeah.
Because as Aaron kind of progresses, like we have a lot of these kind of cringe moments where Aaron doesn't know what kind of questions to really ask and he stumbles his words and it's really kind of cringy and awkward. And I just think because he's not naturally like what Zach is, right? And
no one is naturally what Zach is.
Zach's not even naturally Zach. Like I don't know what he does. But I thought that was cool because Nick's trying to Aaron's trying to kind of step out a little more investigator. So he asked this dumbass question and it's so stupid and they have this little moment and it was great.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. And our last one is Aaron doing an impression of Zach. And he says, he's like, I'm going to be Zach, you know, I'm going to play the role of Zach. And he says, Aaron, I want you down in the basement by yourself and hunt some ghosts. Me and Nick are going to be playing with the thermal cam upstairs.
And that's exactly what happens.
And even Zach is like, yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
Good go.
Yeah, go ahead and go. But it's great because Aaron catches all that great evidence that we discussed earlier in the basement. So good call.
Yeah.
And again, everybody always gives Zach shit, but I will say it over and over again. He sends Aaron to those places because I think Aaron's a little more sensitive, and I think he knew that early on. And Aaron always gets some really good shit when he's alone. So sorry, Aaron, bro, you just got something that Zach doesn't, and you tune in quicker.
Yeah, he's just so sweet natured.
Yeah, he is a little nicer than Zach is. Anyway, the perception. So that's it for the whole thing. So we gotta like rate it.
Yeah, man. What are you giving this baby?
What the fuck you think I'm giving this baby?
Are you gonna give it a 5?
I'm giving it a 5 all the way up. If I could give it 10, 20, 15 claws, I would. And I'd scratch them all down Zaddy's hot back. He gets all the claws. All the claws. Yeah. Have we even given a 5 claw before?
Yeah, we've given a 5 claw before a long time ago.
But like it has to have zaddy nudity.
Yes.
It has to be funny. It has to have
good
haunts.
evidence.
It's all there, baby.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Yeah.
Close it up. Yorktown Memorial Hospital, 5 claws. Shut it down. You cannot disagree. You cannot. Oh my God. What are you going to say? Are you going to give it a 4? Am I going to scream? Oh my God.
I want to give it a 4.
Please explain to us all how this magical fucking episode gets a 4.
I mean, it's better than like the 3 I would have given it if Zach hadn't taken his shirt off.
Okay.
It does hit all the points, but they've gotten better evidence before. And the evidence is good, but I've seen better. from them.
Damn it. Well, we just have to disagree, That's okay. That's what this is all about. You get to decide how many claws you get in this episode, and I'm sure most of y'all will agree it's a 5. But regardless of how hot it all was, we still got to shake it off, baby.
Yeah.
I need to cleanse.
Let's do this.
Give me the power, I beg of you. Hare Due Dumbledore. Give me the power, I beg of you. L'envoi monsieur de Boischelio. Ce soir Etienne Bois de Moore. Hare Due Dumbledore. Wake!
Take a big, deep breath in. Release it out into the world.
Feels good. Feels real good.
Most excellent.
Made me a little dizzy.
Yeah, I think
should probably breathe more.
Made yourself dizzy. I think Zach made you dizzy in that one.
It's been a wild ride.
Woo!
But
As-
thanks.
Yeah.
That's my part.
You do it then.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for hanging out. My name is Bethany.
And I'm Leah.
And we're signing off with 2 besitos.
From these putitos. I need to wipe the sweat off my face after this one. Wipe it off!